How is a policeman going to handcuff a man if he only has one arm?
Could handcuff his ankles.
You think he's going to handcuff one arm to his ankle?
No, both ankles.
Both ankles together, then his hands are out.
He can still like flail around his one arm,
Yeah.
start smacking people with it.
So you guys, you're the policeman.
Oh.
And there's a man in front of you with one arm. He's furious. He's flailing
So
everywhere.
set the scene. You're chasing him down the street. His one arm's
You
flailing.
pin him down and you whip out your handcuffs, and he's just got one hand. What do you do?
I thought you meant you are the policeman and you only have one arm. How do you handcuff someone?
That's the next question.
Okay. How do you handcuff a man that has one arm? I'm guessing you don't.
You handcuff him to yourself, to your arm.
But then if he flails his arm, your arm's in danger.
Also, how are you gonna drive with one arm
That
handed
is
to a
true.
rad?
He's in the back and your arm is back there with him. I mean,
I was
I
gonna say,
guess... Go on.
put him in the defensive ball position, like the armadillo.
Ah,
and
the
then
armadillo.
Handcuff
The
his.
fetal position.
Yeah, that's it. Handcuff
The
his. Handcuff his arm to his ankle or something.
Then how's he gonna walk to like the car or something?
No, you just pick him up and lob him in the back.
Oh, he's a
Lob it!
5-year-old
Is he a
child.
human being? You can't just pick him up and throw him around the place.
Mate,
The
you're not-
tabloids would love you as a
You're gonna-
policeman.
You're gonna have other people there to back you up.
Policeman
not- it's not
assaults
just
and
gonna be-
throws one-handed man.
Fine, you don't have to chuck him. You could gently place him in there, and then you'll get like, oh, really kind policeman looks out for this guy who only has one arm. He gently places him in the back of the police, and then you'll get recommendations from everyone. It'll
But then
be
you can't
amazing.
like put a seatbelt around him when you're like driving him to the station because he's just leg flat against the seat because he can't do anything. Because
I've
his
heard the
hand
dog.
is like, attached to his leg.
It's a dark night, and they're like, "Put your arms behind your back," and you move your one arm back, and they're like, "Okay, the other one." And you just have to explain that you just have one arm. I feel like you're gonna get shot.
The correct answer, in my opinion, is you have a belt, or he has a belt. If he's wearing a belt, you handcuff, like put one hand behind his back, like handcuff it, put the other cuff around like a loop of his belt on the like opposite side of his body. Boom.
Oh, like round the belt and then around like the jean hole, the
Yeah,
jean
exactly,
belt hole.
exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
That's kind of smart.
Do you think they train
That's
this?
actually.
Do you think this is what they train for?
I don't know. I should probably be like a police trainer.
Google it.
I feel... Do you reckon that actually sounds smart? I think you might actually be correct. But I
Nice.
do think the armadillo would be more effective.
Oh my god! I literally googled it, and it said the usual method is to cuff the existing hand to the rear and then put the other cuff through the prisoner's belt.
Oh
No
my god.
way.
Oh, so Nathan
Really?
googled it.
No, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, Nathan's
I
definitely
can,
Googled.
no,
that.
I can shut it. Oh, I don't have it on. Fuck! There's... I didn't.
Nathan googled. Nathan googled.
Guys,
Google.
I
Google.
literally didn't. I was just...
Well, I'm not
Nathan's
sure.
dad's a policeman. He knows this, or his dad has one arm. One of the two.
I think-
I probably didn't Google.
Oh,
so either you're wrong and you're an idiot, or you're right and you're cheated. I
No,
like it.
I'm right and I'm not a cheater. That's also an option.
That wasn't one of the two. All right, that was
Just-
my.
Cut his other arm off, so he doesn't have any arms.
but then how would you? Oh, I guess you just cuff his ankles at that
You don't
point.
even need to cuff anything at that point.
Yeah.
Well, he can still run.
What crime would he
if-
commit with no
Oh,
arms?
you just hug him.
If you cut someone's arm off, they're not gonna want to run for him.
Guys, what crime did this no-armed man commit?
I know he had one arm at the time.
Bank robbery, Nathan.
Tax evasion.
He just walks in with a note in his mouth and just like plops it on the desk.
It's just so wet they can't even read it. It's...
Gun on his toes.
I'm sorry. Can this man not hold like a gun in one hand and speak with the mouth? Or
Wait,
why is he?
Why
written
does
a
he have a
note?
note in his?
I
Why does he have a
don't
note
know.
in his mouth if he
He's
can't?
got-
He has no arms.
Because Harry said you'd cut off his other arm.
How's he even written the notes?
Yeah,
lads?
how's he written it?
So he. Maybe he's got like really proficient in using his feet.
I
So
think
they
at
have to
that
cuff
point
his
you would
ankles.
be right. Like if you have no
Yeah,
hands,
probably.
I think
No,
you would
I
try.
don't think.
But
I don't
this
think a
started with-
parameter.
But this started with a one of you with a one arm man to handcuff him, and then someone just said cut his other arm off. Like he had one arm to begin the
Look, his
crime.
life's gone downhill since that moment.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it's-
I always thought that if someone had no arms and no legs, they could wear like pillowcases as clothes.
That's like a
But-
really terrible joke you'd make when you're 12 years old.
I
Might
don't
as well
want to
put
blow
in a
your
potato
mind. I
sack.
don't want to blow your mind, but you could wear one right now.
You wouldn't fit. What do you mean?
You just have to cut the arms out. I reckon you could.
Yeah, but I'm saying you wouldn't have to cut the arms out if you had no arms and legs. You just slot in.
So you'll say the benefit of having no arms and no legs is cheaper clothing. That's
Yeah.
the benefit you're pulling away from that.
Oh, it
There's some
depends
really
how
cool
depends how
designs on
nice your
pillowcases.
pillowcase is. Like if you get some really silky smooth, that's
But
expensive.
hold on, so you're still cutting a head hole?
No, you've got the pillowcase hole.
Yeah.
Well, then it's just going to fall down. They've got nothing to hold it up with. I guess you could put a belt around their chest.
And then you've
And
got
then
something
you
to handcuff
can
them. Just one handcuff to the belt and then the
I'm
other
just
to
thinking
nothing.
like you
Then
know
you
how
just pull it along.
like a black bag has like a
taking- just
drawstring
taking
at the top.
I'm just taking my pillowcase for a walk.
I like how. Can I just say, Bob? You said it. You could just take it. Like it's not. That's what a person with no arms or legs is. To
I think we did a good job the first 3 episodes of not being that insulting to everyone.
I was gonna say it only took
Have no arms and no legs.
Hey,
only
we've
took
been-
4 episodes to get us cancelled by making nugget jokes all the time.
Wait, we hadn't used the word nugget yet, but here we are. Oh dear. At least we didn't insult the police. That's good.
Fat pigs.
Okay.
Okay, we didn't need to say that to Harry. He's right here.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
So Joey, do you have your mental challenge exercise?
Oh, lads. Let's say you were walking through a forest. Lovely day. Not too much rain.
I hope it's our first walk of the day.
So, no longer than 30 minutes. Around about 22 minutes into it.
Okay.
16
Good.
Celsius. You sort of walk into this field and you see a big old backpack, and you look in it and let's say there's 10 grand inside it.
Oh.
Then there's also a note at the top saying, like, do not take this, property of whatever mob or cartel or gang, insert scary thing. What do you do?
Wait, is it got like this belongs to the cartel, or does it just say do not take this?
You know what? It's going to say, do not take this, love from the cartel.
I'd not do that.
I mean, is there people there guarding it, or is
No,
it just no
no,
one
nothing.
around?
Nothing,
Then
you're
I'll
just...
take it. What do you mean?
Well, you don't know if there's people watching over it from the distance.
Well, I'll have a look around.
They've got sniper rifles and they're like 200 yards away. You can't
What is
see
this?
it.
Is this like a test? Are they
They're
are they
wearing
in a
ghillie
bait trap
suits.
out?
This sounds like some sort of YouTuber prank.
Every time the parameters get bigger and bigger, it's just like, all right, well, you get away from the field, but then they're in SUVs waiting for you. I don't think I would take it.
I'd take it
I-
and just move to a different country.
With 10k,
Yeah.
That's all it takes for one to uproot his
I'd
entire
buy a
life.
house, move to a different country.
If I went
You
to
would
Brazil,
buy
I could
a
live
house
in
by
I could be
what?
the king of the slums.
sounds like you're just trying to find an excuse for leaving.
Yes.
Bobby
Man needs
stubs
to
his
get
toe at home. I'm moving. This house is haunted.
Bobby sat there thinking, fuck, where did I put my bag of money? I need to find it.
I reckon.
Ah.
If anyone finds
you
a
take it?
bag of money with like 2 grand in it, that's mine. Yeah, that's my moving to Australia funds.
Australia.
I feel like if I
Okay.
found that bag of money, I'd probably like pretend to look inside of it, be like, "What's in here?" and try and quickly pocket some cash, and then like move on like I didn't take it, just because I
It's
feel
all
like
in pennies.
So now you've
What?
so now you've taken a little bit of money, left your
So now I'm
fingerprint
dragging a
everywhere.
massive wheelbarrow behind me full of pennies, £10,000 worth of pennies.
someone walking down the same path as you goes, where did you get those pennies from? And he looks suspicious. What are you going to say?
Got from the bank.
You got them from the bank.
Yeah, I just withdrew some money.
Some pennies.
Well, no,
Some
Swift.
money.
10 grand in your finest pennies, please.
How much space would that be? That would be a lot of
That's got to be what, like,
big backpack.
how many pennies would that be?
10,000.
Like, what, 1 million?
Wait, how much?
Nathan!
How much money is it?
10,000?
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's 10,000 pennies, right?
Yeah, it is.
exactly. Times
Oh my
100.
god. Okay.
Just
which
add
is-
2 zeros on the end.
Come on, Nathan, you got this. Bring it home.
To 1,000,000 pennies.
Hey.
And
That was
it's
the most prolonged A ever.
Dude,
Hey.
I think it would be like 20 wheelbarrows.
For 1,000,000 pennies, are you nuts? That's gonna take up your entire house.
I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna make it my life goal now to just get 1,000,000 pennies.
Why don't we Google it? How many
Well, let's just-
pennies? How many wheelbarrows would it take to hold 1,000,000
Why do I
pennies?
feel like you'd probably find an answer?
How have you managed to tangent from whether or not you take the money to I would if it was
I mean,
pennies?
Only if
Who
it was
wouldn't take the
pennies.
money? Wait, who's not taking the money?
I'm not taking the money.
I'd
not.
probably only take like a handful.
Jack,
Honestly,
that's the worst thing you could do.
yeah,
That's
that
like
is the
2
worst.
quid in
thing.
pennies, Jack.
You might as well take
But
it.
it's like, if someone's watching, they're like, do we follow that guy who took like some 10 quids have it, or do we watch the bag of £10,000?
You're not waving it around going, just 10 quid, guys. Just 10 quid.
You know, I've
Like-
done it sneakily, just a little bit out of there. Maybe they forgot to count it properly. They don't know.
So sorry, just to clarify. They're watching you with binoculars. You lean down in the grass.
Oh, I'm like, oh,
run
what's
into
this?
the bag, and you stand up and you sort of walk away, and your
Yeah.
back pocket's a bit
But
stuffed.
I've got like, I'm holding, yeah, like that, just like that.
I think if you take, well, Harry. I mean, we've both said no, but we're in the proximity of it anyway. We're in danger. Maybe we should just take it.
No. If they see
No?
that you don't take it, I feel like anything from the cartel, they work by a certain code. From watching like
You're
Ozark
talking
and
like
stuff
C++,
like that.
Java.
Yeah, exactly. They work more as it's more like a C# kind of thing for those guys. It's like if you don't touch their money, then they have no qualms with you. But if you touch their money, they're just gonna kill you on sight. You know.
I still just think you have a look around. If people are there, you leave it. If there's no one there, you take it.
They're hiding
What if-
underground,
What are
underneath
you
it.
talking about? This is the SAS. This is just like.
What if there's just a guy walking? Oh,
They've dug a man-shaped hole underneath the money,
No,
and then
they've
when you pick it up, they're just there underneath it. Like, what are you doing?
They've got
Like
AC
Chris,
130
like
above.
Chris Hansen.
right, so
Yeah.
Nate, you're there, you're in the field, and there's just a man walking his dog sort of 100 meters away. What are you doing? Like, there's someone there, you don't know if they're involved.
The thing is, if I see a random backpack on the floor, I probably wouldn't go near it either way.
You can
It's
see
slightly
the money.
open, yeah.
Okay.
Like, the money's
A couple
spilling
like
out.
£10 notes, maybe a 20, is just like falling
Couple
out. It's fluttering
pennies on the
across the
floor.
floor.
Couple pennies are just on the floor.
Yeah.
It depends. Like, it depends
Naturally,
how
you can't
sketchy it is.
resist the pennies.
Alright.
The thing is, all right, if it was a wallet, I'd probably hand it in, or like to the police or something.
Right.
If it was a wallet full of cash,
And it has
But
that little note.
you know, if it's a wallet, then someone's just dropped it there, and like, you know, it's an innocent guy who's just lost
But it
his
says
wallet.
don't inside of it.
But if there's a bag full of cash, you know it's dodgy. You know, like the person who like
So yeah,
owns this bag is probably a dodgy guy, so you can't feel bad about taking that.
I'm just walking my dog. I'm 100 meters away from you.
Grab it.
You
You
see
grab
me?
it. I'm grabbing it.
Hey,
Well, if
Estee,
you-
what
if
are you
you shoot-
doing?
I'm running. I
Oh,
can't-
Etsy,
Hey, Estee.
Etsy.
I don't think you would take it.
What are you talking about?
I don't think you would take it.
What? Why? I don't understand.
I feel like you'd see it. You'd get that gut instinct where you'd be like, I don't even think I should be here.
That's
Like,
what I was thinking.
Yeah, like if I saw that instantly, honestly, I'd probably leg it anyway.
Like, the more Joey speaks, the more I'm thinking I wouldn't have taken any of that money. Like, he's changed my mind. I think I'd
It's
be
my-
shit scared of it.
It's my bag. I'm like,
the
no,
way
no,
you-
no,
the
guys,
way
we
you
wouldn't
guys-
take
The way you guys are acting as if there's like the mob is like standing around this bag watching your every move.
Where's the bag full of £10,000?
All you said was there's a bag of 10 grand on the floor with a little note on it. So-
In pennies, no less.
So
Teddar's pennies. That's just a tangent.
in my the way I interpret that is just like no one's gonna know you took it. Like it's not like, oh yeah, and there's everyone watching you and they're gonna know if you took it. If you said that, then I'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, but it's
You don't know.
it's
if
for
they're
you
watching.
to decide whether or not they are or not watching.
Yeah.
And I say the cartel are so stingy of their money that like
If they're so
anything
stingy, they
taken
wouldn't-
from them is
they
going
wouldn't
to
leave
get
a
killed.
bag. They wouldn't
No,
leave a
maybe
I'm
they're
bag.
not the
concerned that
ones-
they're gonna
Maybe they're
listen
not.
to this. I'm concerned that they're gonna listen to this. I feel like we gotta leave, guys.
Maybe they're not. The
Like I
ones who
said, I
left the
didn't
bag.
take the bag of money.
You took 10 quid. I
Neither
saw
did
you
I.
take 10 quid.
He's lying.
I'm
I was
taking
gonna
reckon-
say, what
Go
if
on.
it wasn't? What if it wasn't the cartel who left the money? What if it was someone who needed to pay back the cartel who left the money there, and then they're
Well,
like,
probably
oh,
just
leave
as
the money in
sketchy.
this location.
So,
and
so what does the note say? What does the note say?
no, so it still says for the. So it says in like for the cartel. Instead of
Oh,
this is the cartel's money.
I'm not taking it then,
The
because
note-
that's a man's life. That's
the
a
note
man's
says
life
on it,
right
please don't hurt my family anymore. Get them
Oh
back
my
to me safe. And Nathan's like, oh, I don't mind if I do.
Listen,
Just
And
a
then
couple of
Pogo-
tens,
and then
couple of
Pogo-
tens.
Bobby just moves country. There you go. That's it.
you can't change the parameters after everyone's already answered.
No, it's too late.
We're
If
just
you've already
changing
said
it
it.
to
You
the
take
point.
this money, and everyone's like, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes. And then you're like, and if you take the money, 100 million people die. Ah, you said
No,
you take it.
You did it. You killed. Slaughter. Genocide. You've committed mass genocide.
But changing the parameters so that you have to agree with us is part of the fun.
No, it's not, because my answer would change if you change the parameters.
You
So
can't
the
change your answer,
parameters
that's
right
against
now.
the
The
rules.
parameters right now. Here's the scene.
Okay.
You don't know if anyone's around. Like you don't. You can't see anyone, but you don't know. It's 10 grand. Actually, let's ramp it up. It's 15 grand. Bit extra, more convincing.
2 P's, this is not going to fit.
Extra couple of wheelbarrows. And the note says, for the cartel, please don't hurt my family. What are you doing? Are you taking it?
Oh, he's thinking.
He's thinking. He's like,
Um,
do I value this man's life? I'm not
no,
taking it.
I'm really trying to imagine it. I'm not just thinking like I'm really
Okay,
trying to
okay.
picture myself walking through the woods.
The adrenaline would be instant, no? Like I'd be on edge.
Like, if you're just looking up, you're like, oh, you hear some
know what I
birds
do?
whistling. You look down,
You know what I'd do?
bag of money.
You know what I'd do? I
No, we
would.
don't.
Tell me.
I'd leave it there, but remember where it was. Like make a mental note. Like, oh, this is where it was in the woods, and I'd wait 24 hours.
It's not a common place, though. It's on a footpath.
What do you mean? What would it be in a footpath?
Well, where are you
it-
walking? Are you just walking through, like, the scrubs? You
Is
know,
it- is
the
it-
leaves all around you, you're just like...
If it's just in the middle of like a busy street.
No, it's like...
Nate, you're on a motorway. You're on a motorway dodging cars. Do you take it or not?
I would wait a bit, and then if it's still there after 24 hours, I'd take it.
Two birds, one stone, Nathan. Take 5 grand. That person still gets burgered. Cartel get a bit of money, and you get a bit of money. Happy days.
So win-win-win.
But Nathan,
Win-win
so
lose.
Nathan,
Win-win lose.
I like how this mental warm-up has turned into like a 20-minute segment.
Well, I mean,
It's
realistically,
important to know.
It is.
all I know is if I'm on a walk with Nathan in a field and he says, "Hey, what's that backpack?" I'm gonna say, "Ignore it, mate. Ignore it. Don't worry
Nothing
about
there.
Hold me back! Hold me back!
it." Awesome.
All right, what's the next real question?
Okay, well, now we go on to the would you rathers. All right. So
Okay.
me and Joey found a few questions, so
Oh.
a few would you rathers, okay? And
Mhm.
basically, we're going to go through a bunch of them, and everything that happens in them will continue over to the next one. Okay, so if in the first one it's like, would you rather, I don't know,
No feet or no arms.
you know,
Sorry,
if you
no
pick
hands.
no feet, you've not got any feet for the next questions. All
But
right.
we have to have a consensus, lads. We've got
Shit.
to move forward with a general. And if not, it's just going to be a vote. If not, it's just going to be a vote. And
So
whichever
we
has.
all either have no feet or no hands.
Yeah, we'll work it
Bingo.
together as a team here. Okay.
Okay.
Should we tell them the end goal that we found?
No. I feel like because that way they'll think about that.
Okay.
They'll think about that.
Okay, so the first question, all right, is to do with pennies. Would you rather have to pay for everything in pennies or have to use a pogo stick as your only means of transportation?
I mean,
I'm gonna go with pogo stick.
Pogo stick.
Okay.
So that
'Cause
means
that's fun.
if you're hopping to the kitchen to make a cup of tea and then you've picked it up and you've got to hop back, that thing's going everywhere.
Wait, so
Can you take a
I'm just
pogo
gonna buy a
stick?
mug. I'm just gonna buy mugs with lids.
Like with lids, actually, okay.
Man's
that's cool.
adapting. Man's
Travel
adapting.
plugs.
Is
I
it,
need
can you
clarification.
only use pogo sticks to can you pogo stick to a car and then while you're on the pogo stick you use that to drive the car?
No, you can't.
Pogo stick
Okay,
everywhere. So
then
you
I'd
have to
definitely
drive.
rather pay
If
for
you
things
could
in
hop on top of a moving car, we'll allow it, but
pennies.
When you say
I'm just gonna get on a train.
it's,
you say
that's a transportation.
is walking like just to and from places,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
transportation.
walking to the toilet, that
You're
counts
going
as
anywhere.
transportation.
You have to pogo stick there.
Well,
Or pay
I'd
for
take
everything
pennies.
in pennies.
I'd
You'd never
take
be able to
pennies.
leave the country.
I just pogo on the plane.
You can't get a pogo stick on a plane.
Have you?
You'll have to go. You'll have to go
Have you
private.
tried?
Actually, in fairness, you probably could get it on, just wouldn't be able to use it during the flight.
Well,
Actually,
you'd have to because this is against.
Sir, please put your seatbelt on. There's turbulence as you're just bouncing along.
I thought
You would
I
get
thought we
about.
just said that we couldn't use other
No,
transportation.
we're changing it so you can use transportation long as if you can pogo stick while you're doing it.
So,
Okay.
for example, you can't drive. Really, you can't go in a car at all, but you can go on a bus, a
You can go
train,
on a train, yeah.
a plane, assuming they let you.
No, I'd still rather pennies.
So
Yeah, the penny's easier one.
if you want to buy
Can
a
I-
new shirt, £20,
People are
you're
just gonna
lugging
hate
that
you.
with you. Yeah.
Literally, anyone who works in retail is going to want to kill you. But
Imagine buying a
at least
house
you're not pogo sticking everywhere.
and your £10,000 deposit, sir. Oh yes, bring in the wheelbarrows. I got this money from a field. See. Can you sit on the pogo stick? As in, let's say you're finally in the plane. Can you sit on it?
I reckon
As in,
you
like
could,
you're still.
I reckon you could rest against it. Yeah.
What? So you don't have to be bouncing?
As soon as you start moving, you have to start hopping.
You can use it as a seat.
So wait, when you're stationary,
You can
don't
remain
have to-
you can remain on it, stood on it. Like you could like touch the ceiling or the walls for balance, but you have to remain on it.
Well, I feel like that's going to be like a new like seating plan for Ryanair anyway. Like you could fit in so many people if they just have to sit on a pogo stick and like hold on for dear life. I personally, lads, I'm going for the pogo stick. I think pennies is mad.
I think pogo stick's fucking mad.
Yeah.
There's no way you're pogo sticking around everywhere.
I don't.
At a
think you're
certain
allowed on a plane.
point, you'd get good at it. You'd get good at it. But pennies, guys, come on. Think about any purchase you'd have to make. You'd have to carry like a freaking wheelbarrow.
And then they're
I'd just
probably
do
not going to
trade
let
deals.
you. They're not going
I'd
to let
just
you.
do trade deals for the rest of my life. I'd buy something with pennies, and then I'd trade that with something else, and then
That's
trade
not
that
going to
the
work at
barter system.
Primark.
Yeah, it was.
Tell you
Like,
what,
I'll
lads,
trade
I've
you
got-
this chicken that I've managed to find.
I've got a
Guys, I
20
found this
pack-
gold bar. I've bought this gold bar with pennies.
No, but then you have to
Can I
pay
then-
for everything in pennies, Harry. You have to pay for everything in pennies. You can't pay for it in
I'm
a
not
gold bar.
paying. I'll say, can I do a trade deal? I'll use this gold
What?
bar.
Hold on. Hold on. What are you? No. Wait.
I should go
What
to
are
the
you
shop
going
and
to
start saying
trade?
that.
What are you going to trade for the gold bar?
Pennies.
An item.
Which would be?
So, say I wanted a car, I'd bring in 20 gold bars, and I'd be like,
Now, what you've actually
I will
done there
trade.
is you've just created currency, but replaced it with gold bars, which isn't how the question works.
Okay,
I'd chip the bars down into circular sort of metal
Coins.
shapes, and then I'd use them as coins.
I think what I'd do is if I chose the pennies one, is if I was like going out to buy something, I'd bring a mate with me.
Yeah.
And like, the mate knows all about the penny situation, and he'll just pay for everything. And then when I have to pay him back, I'll pay him the pennies, and he can just deposit them straight into the bank.
I mean, that is a loophole. I don't think you can really dispute that one.
Yeah, it's
because
true,
you're
but-
buying it off him.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Like, I feel like
We
would
vote
a bank like accept 10,000 pennies?
Yeah.
You think?
A bank has to accept any form of currency.
Damn.
What about bars of gold?
I feel like they would have.
That's not currency, though, is it?
I feel
Gold.
like
I think what you'd do is you'd pour it into one of those
way
cash counter things, wouldn't you? And then it
Yeah.
And then it sort of
those
adds it all up.
things. And
I
you
mean,
get, like,
that would be
little receipt.
fun. That
Na-
would be fun.
Nathan's
You've
got
got
all
me
his
there.
friends. They all know about the penny situation. They've got
Yeah,
their
I'll be
wheelbarrows.
And so you can have like 5% of whatever I buy as like a little favour
Yeah.
for doing this for me.
That's a lot of money over time.
You buy a house for like 300k. Man's getting.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
now
without
hold on a
them-
minute,
without
lads, hold
them,
on a
you wouldn't
minute.
have a house.
Hold on a minute. Where does this stand with things like subscriptions? You can't pay for those anymore unless
you
you
get your mate to
mail
go.
them.
Yeah. I'd be
I
like, "Yo,
feel
buddy,
like that's
can you
too loopholey though.
buy,
Still
buy
in
a
your
subscription
name.
for me, and I'll give you the pennies."
Fair. I mean, I think that's a loophole, but I guess it's not. Like you can't really dispute it. But
Because you're paying him in pennies to do something for you.
I feel like I'm the only one rooting for Pogo Stick here, aren't I?
I'm
I'm rooting
I'm
for
on-
Pogo Stick.
I haven't
I'm
know
looking
what
for
Bobby said.
I'm a firm believer that
Wait,
you
what
won't
was-
be able to get a pogo stick on a plane.
I said
What was
I said it at the beginning.
Bobby's pogo
I'll
stick.
just get public transport everywhere and just pogo on them. It's fine.
Plane
Dude.
would be an issue, Nathan, but I reckon. Oh fuck!
I would
It's
just get a
difficult.
boat everywhere.
You could pogo right up to your seat, sit down on it. Could
And
that
then you
work?
could.
They would not let you through with a pogo stick.
What if maybe you
If
could
a-
sort of put it down your trouser leg and just do little hops, little
How
tiny
small
hops.
is this pogo
No.
stick?
I'm a professional at this point, Nathan. I've got a custom pogo
Like-
stick.
Even people with like prams and stuff, like they have to leave them outside the plane in like a hold area. You can't take it on the plane.
Yeah, they don't let babies
If-
on the plane. They have to go in the
It's
hold
only if
area.
it's made of metal.
Yeah, but
If you can fold and put in a hand luggage, you just get someone to throw you onto the plane, so you're not technically moving yourself.
That's a new
Fucking
loophole.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Throw me about places.
Nathan's got his buff friend, just picks him up, carries him around. He knows about the pogo situation.
here's the thing, right? You could probably you could probably get a note from someone saying that it's a disability, and then they have to. They can't just take a wheelchair away from someone who can't walk.
Well, you've got doctors
Same
now
with
saying
the
the man
pogo.
can only pogo.
He can only pogo. He's got a rare form of
pogo-only.
pogoitis. Pogo-only?
Okay,
Pogo-only. Sounds like a type
I've
of
got a-
pasta.
I've got a question.
Oh, ask.
Could you modify the pogo stick so only like you cut like the bottom foot of the pogo off, so it's still like the springy bouncy bit, and you attach that to the bottom of your shoes,
So you want pogo shoes?
almost like moon boots, yeah.
So like Go-Go Gadget pogo shoes.
So you're just like you're still
But
pogoing
then-
technically.
It's like 2 single pogos instead of 1 double pogo.
Yeah.
I think that's an acceptable.
Yeah, spring shoes.
Oh, and
But
beat
but
the-
you, but you cut like literally you cannot walk. Like you will have to use them. You
yeah,
can't.
you just hop everywhere.
Yeah, I would say springy bouncy shoes are allowed.
Boom! I'll choose that. I'll choose that.
It's
'cause
chosen.
you can
Is
get-
everyone all right with
Plus,
that?
that makes the next question.
Harry,
if
you've,
that's the
you've
sentiment.
gone quiet. You've gone quiet, Harry. I'm worried.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right.
A whole pogo stick I wouldn't take, but bouncy shoes I'm fine
No.
with.
Okay.
Can I just say, Nathan? I thought you were going to be like, could I get like stabilizers on it so I don't really have to sit down? Like, I thought you were going to go for like a customizable stick route.
Can I just pimp it out? You know.
Plus, this really helps because now that me and Joey just picked a bunch of would you rather questions that we found at random, and now that I see them, I'm thinking if we had a pogo stick for some of the later ones, it would make it much more difficult. So the springy shoes here is a good modification to
I'm sticking
That's
with
pretty-
pogo stick. This sounds fun.
it. Bobby's like, fuck that pogo stick.
All in
Alright.
favour of shoes?
Yeah, I'd go,
Ah,
I'd
Yeah,
go shoes.
yeah.
Sorry, Bobby, but you have to go along with it. You're a springy shoe man for life now.
You're a springy shoe man now.
I don't like this.
Think of the custom shoes you could get.
Okay, so the next question, boys, really helps that you don't have a pogo stick. Would you rather have no hands or have a fat naked man stalking you for the rest of your life?
The fat naked man.
Sure about that.
Always. He's always there. You look out your window
Yeah.
and he's there behind the bushes.
I
Yeah, but
can't
just-
get him
It's just-
arrested.
It's just
No.
me everywhere.
He's always there. He gets arrested and another one takes his place.
But the thing is, it's his son. He's like trained him up. That's their like family business. But like, will he just stand there?
He
He'll
can't
follow
hurt
you.
you at all.
Yeah, but like, will he like come like and punch me? What will he do?
I don't know. I hadn't
Well,
thought
he's-
that
I
far
mean,
ahead.
it's a stalker.
he-
He wants.
So he just
maybe
follows me about.
maybe one time you come into your house and it's like drawers are a bit open, have been roughed. He's not in there, but the
So
doors
he's a
have been
burglar.
open. No, nothing's been taken. He's just been looking through your underwear drawers open.
He broke in.
I mean,
he's breaking-
honestly,
on,
I
man.
wouldn't care.
Nate, hold on. Your giant sex toy collection is missing.
I need that.
Wait, did you say that or no arms or
No
that
hands. No
or
hands.
okay?
That's
Imagine a pogo stick with no hands.
That's why I'm glad of the modification.
I would love to have a pogo stick with no head. That sounds like such a cool skill to be able to learn.
It would be. You'd have to use your knees.
I feel like-
Can I get like metal hands to put where my other hands used to be?
No.
We don't want you turning into Anakin.
Well, I mean, I guess you could, but it's not gonna.
No,
move.
no, no. Because
Okay, no, I'd still rather go no hands. There's no way I'm having some guy going through. Like you said, you can look through all your shit.
He's
it's like-
calling you, like leaving you loads of voicemails. Like,
He'll
it's
get
a
worse.
scary guy. And
It's
it's a
progressive.
pretty large man.
Yeah.
It's a large man.
At first, you just sort of noticed a fat naked man just down the road. You thought maybe he was a drunkard, but next day, he's down the other road that you're going down. You see him in town just watching you, maybe sat
But
at a
here's the
cafe having a
thing.
coffee.
I'd
See-
rather that than no hands.
Exactly. Like
That
if you
wouldn't-
get a family
wouldn't
and then you
bother
get
me.
kids, he's terrifying your kids. They're afraid to go outside because of him.
Harry's got a
Shit, he's
point. That
right.
would be true because
He's
he's been
right.
getting worse at this point. You've had to get gates, you know, like
Dates?
Yeah, and you said he just turns up, so you could like go into a castle with things everywhere.
castle.
You go into your room, boom, he's there.
You turn around, you
I-
run.
What
I
sort of
thought I
voice does he have?
dropped you
Jack?
off a bridge. I appeared back in your room again.
Is it a
Yeah,
scary
like-
voiced man, or is it just
No,
like?
it's still normal. It's weirdly
just
normal.
normal.
It's kind of comforting as well.
Oh, hold on, I'm swinging towards that.
thing is, like,
Might as well make him your fucking husband at this point.
That is the
said,
only
like,
option.
he's not attacking us, is he?
I feel like a horror.
He's not-
I feel like it's like a
No.
horror film, but instead of being an hour
He's
and a
not,
half
he's
long
not
progression,
nicking our stuff.
it's like 40 hours long.
He's not stealing. He's not attacking. He's just there.
He's
And
just
if you
always
walk in
there.
your house and he's like broken in, then you'll just be like, "Piss off, mate! I ain't doing this again."
He's like,
Like,
look, you've been following me for 20 years. That's fine, but now you've gone too far.
I feel like if you had no hands, you wouldn't be able to do like 99% of the things you want to do in life.
Yeah.
You couldn't play video games.
You wouldn't be able to get a job.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
You wouldn't be able to do anything. Like, what could you do if you had no hands? Become an
Walk.
Olympic sprinter, maybe. That's pretty much it.
Couldn't get arrested.
The cuffs would just slide straight off.
Straight off
Nah, they
what?
They
Your
got
nuts.
belts for that.
Just they go autopilot and they try to cuff you and they go, oh, sorry, lad. But
Honestly,
here's the
like-
thing though, couldn't the fat man also ruin your job prospects?
How?
He's calling up your work, he's trying to get in, his penis is flailing around. You're just
I
trying
feel
to
like
impress.
flailing.
Bloody hell.
If he was trying to get into your work, then your work would call the police and you'd get put in prison.
He always gets away with it, right?
Yeah,
like that's surely a thing. Like
But then at that point, it's not your fault. Like, what can, like, you just be like, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
this bloke's just stalking me. There's
you
nothing I
play
can do.
innocent. I don't know why he's here. It's not. I don't
Block his
know.
number.
Block his number, get a new
He gets a new
number.
phone. Yeah. They're
We
phone
have to
things.
go for that though, 'cause Harry, no hands. Come on.
No, I'm going no hands. I'm not having some fat naked guy
How do-
following me.
How do you live your life with no hands?
Told you to get metal hands.
They're not
You
going to
can't-
do anything. They're going to be like
No,
Jamie
no.
Lannister hands.
Well,
They're just going to.
No, you can get like
Harry, what if I
Carbon
told you
hands.
now, one of the following questions later on, you might be able to pick an option where you get some sort of hand replacement.
No, you can't, because
okay.
you
I'll
can't
get
think of
hand
the future.
replacement.
You can't think of the future.
I'm just
Can't
like,
think of
Len,
the
because I
future.
mean, if we're all going fat naked man, we're going to
gotta
overrule
think
Harry
right now.
anyway. You know,
Fine. If there's no even point, I'll have a fat naked man following me. Then.
it's like fine if I have to.
I hope he kills me.
If anything, though, with your new shoes, you can get away from him quite quickly.
Yeah, pogo shoes.
A little hop away,
I don't know if it'd be any
Then-
quicker than running.
he'd start wearing them as well because he's obsessed with you.
Fat naked
So-
man, both pogo shoes. He's custom built his own as well.
So it wouldn't be fat then, really, if he's got these custom pogo shoes everywhere. 'cause
You'll
he'd
find a
be
way.
constant cardio.
True.
So, at what point would it turn into,
man.
hey, now it's a, wow, that's a fit naked man. Like, you know, this is more acceptable.
I can get
Just
down
what?
with
One day when you're 50, you just look at him and you just go, "Hold on a minute, I'm feeling something here."
Good.
You just leave the door open to the front door of your house.
What if he's actually like a really nice guy, and like you really get along with him?
Would you ever turn around to go up to him and say hi to find out?
What if I grow back my hands? I don't know, Nathan. We can't think about.
No,
Whether or
you
not he's gonna
can't
be
grow
nice.
back what are you talking about?
He's not
Have
going to
you
be
ever,
nice.
have
He's
you
a
ever
stalker.
tried growing back your hands?
Yeah, true. There
It
you
really
go,
doesn't
Nathan.
work very well.
Think before you
I
speak.
just wanna
Nathan.
know
You're gonna
what
embarrass
Harry does.
yourself.
Harry, what do you do with your life with no hands? Like, what do you do tomorrow? You wake up and what do you do?
Wake up. Oh, I can't wank. Fuck.
That's the deciding factor.
I love how
That
that's the
is
first thing
whack.
he does when he wakes up as well.
It's like,
thing I
Harry,
think
what do you do
about.
first thing in the morning? Oh,
Go-
shit.
Go to
Actually,
sleep.
can I-
Wank. Wake up. Wank.
The thing that
Turn
would
it down.
annoy me the most is I'm just picturing like having a really bad like itch on like my arm and just.
Well, you've got
being fucked.
stumps. You've got your toes.
You got your
Oh,
You
it's
get
mouth.
not the
some
same. It's not
spikes.
the same.
You
Come on now.
itch
You'd
with
use
your
teeth,
teeth.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just.
Itch with your teeth.
Actually,
Naked man.
yeah.
Naked man. I can't believe that this one's a debate, being honest.
I thought this would be a quick one.
Naked,
Naked
man.
man.
Lock it in.
All right.
Anyone else? We got enough naked mans to go forward?
Okay. Next question. This one. He's very reluctant. This one was provided by Joey. I feel like I should say that beforehand, before you hear it. Okay. Would you rather have hair for teeth or teeth for hair? I'm not 100% sure what that last part means, but
No, come on, teeth for hair. No, that makes sense. Hair for teeth or teeth for hair? And honestly, I think teeth for hair.
Really? Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, because then you just shave and go bald.
Yeah, but you can shave your teeth and wear dentures.
Oh.
Can
Oh.
you
What's got
imagine them
there?
growing in though? That'd just feel awful.
Oh god. I'm just thinking how
How would
How
you also
disgusting.
cut teeth
Get a
on
bunch
your
of
head?
ingrowing hairs in your mouth as well. Your
how
gums.
disgusting would it be? Like having like wet hair in your mouth all day.
Oh, ugh, it'd probably get caught up. I was gonna say it'd get caught up in your teeth, but I mean that's not an issue anymore.
You could brush it.
Brush your hair. Well, You'd
Brush
probably
your teeth.
you'd probably get some hen shoulders and you'd
Isn't
shampoo
that
it.
fun? You can still brush your hair even when it's your teeth, and you can still brush your teeth because it's your hair. I'd like to change my answer.
Teeth for hair. Teeth for hair.
Yeah, but teeth for hair
Teeth for-
is teeth for hair everywhere. Like your arm hairs, you've got small little teeths everywhere. That's not the word. Teeths.
Small little teeth.
Teeth. Little toothos.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, but who's gonna look at you and be like, "That's the man I want to be with"?
You just shave constantly.
If you've got teeth,
It's teeth.
you can't shave
No.
teeth.
You've got tooths.
You kind of look a bit scaly though.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You'd be some sort of weird lizard man, tooth man.
What operation would be easier to fix? I feel like the getting the hair out your mouth and putting teeth there would be easier than
Yeah, that would be much
getting
easier.
it removed from your body. Yeah.
I think I'd rather that because at least someone, when they look at you, they can't tell anything's open. Then you give them a nice pearly puby smile.
I don't know, guys. That would be gross.
No.
Like,
You'd only have to do it for like endure it for like 1 hour, because then you just like cut all the hair out your mouth, go to the dentist, get it sorted.
They just cram it all in there within
and
an
then they
hour.
look at you and they go, "I've never seen this before. How do you expect me to get this sorted?"
And then you go on a reality TV show called My Hairy Teeth and Me, and you get like famous.
And you won't be paid in pennies, thanks to our Pogo shoes. Actually, would be
That's
a pretty
true.
cool character.
But
And you'd have a stalker.
outside
Hold
the
on.
window of the interviews you're on because you're famous, you just see that same guy everywhere. He always keeps
Yeah, but
cropping up.
But
now it's normal for you to have a stalker.
would the guy even want to stalk you anymore if you had hairy teeth
Oh, yeah,
or
he wants
teethy
it.
hair?
No, he wants it.
he's-
Is that even
You-
better for him? Is he,
he
liking
starts-
us even more now?
Yeah, he starts gluing on hair to his teeth
Oh, he wants to be just like us.
while he's hopping around.
rather
with his
than
pogo shoes.
a lock of hair, it's a lock of teeth.
Oh,
It's still
Oh, nasty.
That's grim.
Harry, you've been quiet on this one. You're not a fan of either option?
To be honest, they both sound grim. And on top of this, I have a fat man following me wherever I go.
Everywhere
so...
you go, he's naked as well.
Everywhere.
You're also pogoing everywhere.
And
with these weird
pogoing.
shoes.
Yeah, but pogo shoes, just spring shoes. You know, it might be cool. If you get famous, that'll be the new thing. Instead of Heelys, it'll be Springies.
Sort of brand.
No,
I
Harry.
think that-
All in favor of hairy teeth.
All of-
Hairy teeth.
What? No, not hairy teeth.
No, I know, hair for teeth. Hair for teeth.
I am voting
Um,
hair for teeth.
I'm not.
You want teeth for hair?
I do want teeth for hair. Bobby, what are you thinking?
Ooh, it's a toughie. I'm probably gonna have to go hair for teeth.
For hair for
Harry?
teeth.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You've been overruled.
Guys,
Joey.
that is going to be disgusting.
No,
You can shave it.
You think you got to scratch your arm and just be met with like gritty teeth all over your body?
it takes so long to like wash every night because you have to get a toothbrush to like
Oh.
all over your body. Your leg hair will be all like teeth all over your legs, teeth
Oh,
all over
yeah.
your arms, teeth all over your back. your
Nathan, I
all
just
over
want
your
you to
balls.
picture the discomfort of one hair in your mouth
Yeah,
and then multiply it. You've literally, you're a,
I'd just get
you're
some
a whale.
scissors.
Yeah, but you have no
What?
teeth for the hair to get stuck in.
What do you mean? You can? There's still wetness. There's still clumpy wetness in
I
your
would
mouth.
just cut it off
I have-
immediately.
I've lost. I will forfeit.
But then you got
Fine, we
spiky
have-
hair in your mouth, stubbly
No,
mouth,
laser hair removal cream or whatever. it's
in your gums.
Laser hair removal cream. Nathan.
I'm just trying every product at once. Get this out of my mouth.
Oh, hair removal cream on your gums. That would burn.
I'd rather have one night of burning than a lifetime of teeth
I think
body.
we'd always burn, to be honest with you. All right,
Alright.
so imagine the scene, okay? You're walking along. You've got a naked
Hopping-
fat man
hopping-
hopping behind
hopping
you.
along.
You're hopping along on your newfound
Thank you.
shoes. Naked fat man's hopping along as well. You turn around, you give him a smile. Your hairy teeth are just like not hairy teeth. The hair in your mouth is just like flopping all over the place. It's really uncomforting.
And then he smiles as well, and you notice that he's got your hair in his mouth. How's he done that? All right, I
No, he's
feel
got
like
his
I've lost
teeth. He's got your teeth on his hair.
I've lost this one, but I can't believe you guys.
The next question, and it's really good we
Okay.
don't have teeth all over our body. Okay, would you rather be covered in I did not say that right. Would you rather be covered in feathers or covered in fur?
Now,
Fur.
firstly, I assume fur is the equivalent of like
Firstly,
being a bear, like
yeah.
proper.
Good game, man.
Not the bears
Fur.
Harry likes, but like grizzly bear.
Funny.
And I'd probably choose. Oh fuck.
I feel like
I think
feathers would be
feathers.
cooler. It's just flat out. I'd rather be a bird man.
Well, hold on. Are they just sort of like glued to me, or like do
No,
they
you're-
look cool?
No, they grow out of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you
Pluck yourself.
yeah, I was gonna say, when you try and get rid of it, do you pluck yourself or can you shave feathers? Or do you have to pluck them?
I reckon you couldn't shave a feather.
Pluck
To be
them.
honest with you.
Pluck 'em.
Surely it'd be pretty painful to try and pluck loads
Yeah,
of individual
I'd go
feathers.
fur. I'd go fur.
Yeah, but I reckon if you had fur or feathers, they would both molt, wouldn't they? Like birds' feathers
Yes.
molt. So
fur! You're gonna.
If you had
burn.
feathers, could you fly?
no,
No.
too heavy for it.
If I have fur, do I have to hibernate?
Any excuse.
I'd do that anyway.
Yeah.
I
We're
just
doing
cannot.
that
Like,
right now.
fur would be so warm. It would be so just uncomfortable. I feel like.
What fur?
Yeah,
that
it'd
sounds
just be
great.
hairy all over.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean,
guess it-
I feel like if you had fur, you'd probably naturally sort of move yourself to a more Alaskan, Canadian sort of cold area. You know what I mean?
I feel like
Like you're not gonna be living in Egypt if you've got fur.
they would
Yeah.
shoot you and call you Bigfoot.
They would indeed.
Feathers, so much cooler. Firstly, secondly, fur all over you. Imagine your face covered in fur. Grim.
Imagine your
I
face
just
covered in feathers.
cool.
What?
Definitely cooler. It's a story then, Nate. It's a story at that point. You're the quirky guy, bouncing on his little shoes, hair for teeth, and a fat man following you, and you've got feathers.
Yeah, and maybe every time you bounce, you sort of like you glide a little bit higher in the air because those feathers keeping you up.
Oh, Harry's interested. See,
I'm
thi-
interested.
I pictured it just like glued on you rather than it actually is a thing. I just pictured it fully glued on you.
Every day you just have to reapply the heaps of glue. Just apply some more feathers that you found. But no,
The only
they,
thing
Oh, go on.
they
So
grow.
the only thing I'm thinking is, are you allowed to rectify it? Like I always think whenever you ask these questions about like body altercation, like,
No,
can you get this fixed? Like, can you pluck all these feathers out?
no,
Can
No,
you
they
get all
keep
this
growing.
fur laser removed?
no. The situation is you can't.
So you have to keep it no matter what.
Yeah.
I would choose
Otherwise, it's not a
fur.
question.
I would choose fur.
I would choose fur.
Why though, Harry? Why do you choose fur?
It just seems so much less hassle to deal with than feathers.
I suppose you get
Comfier.
hairy men.
Yeah,
Not
there's literally
furry
a guy in
then,
the
but-
Book of World Records. It's like his whole body is like fur.
You could win it. You could win the record.
I feel like you would have to at that point. But be
And then-
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say during winter you're set. You're
No
literally not gonna
clothes.
get cold.
You could join the fat naked man. Like
That-
you,
no,
yeah,
that's
okay, you
actually
don't need
really
clothes.
good. That's actually really good though, because like you wouldn't need clothes in the winter. obviously you'd probably have to wear some shorts, but I feel like once you're that hairy, it's acceptable to be shirtless out in public, like even in the winter. So I think Harry's actually onto a winner here.
Thank you.
Bobby?
Any feather followers?
Definitely fur,
Definitely.
without a doubt.
Fair.
Because you could always just in the summer, if you get a bit too warm, you just shave it.
Not
Yeah, it'll
allowed.
grow.
Not allowed.
It's a
You-
shame, but you do molt.
You can
like,
you can
Yeah,
still
you
you can trim it, can't you?
Well, I asked about like, can you shave the fur or pluck the feathers, and they said no.
You'll always
up
have.
to Jack.
It's like a dog. You know, if you get your dog groomed, it's always going to have a level of fur there. You know, what I mean, you can groom it down a little bit, but it's always going to be fur.
I mean, we won't be able to sweat. We'll have to do like what dogs do, and we'll have to pant it out.
What? No, we would still
Yep,
sweat
yep. No,
glands.
that's definitely the
talking
case.
But you can't sweat through fur.
Why not?
pant it out of your hairy mouth.
It's impossible to sweat.
Damn us.
Have you
Damn.
seen any dogs?
No, that's
Have you
because
seen
dogs don't have
sweat?
sweat glands.
Yeah, because the
They
fur's
sweat
in the
through
way.
their pores. No, they sweat through their pores and their tongue.
Yeah,
You
there's a
have
reason
really
why they
clammy
can't.
hands.
There's a reason why they don't have sweat glands, because they have fur instead.
No, that's
You can't
that's
have
definitely the
fur.
case.
You can't
Here's the thing.
You can't
Yeah,
have
but-
fur
no,
and
no, no,
sweat
no.
glands.
Well,
You can.
in this scenario, you would have to because you haven't evolutionized yet. So it would just fucking suck.
It's
It
like
just
you sweat on
stings
your head, Harry.
constantly.
But
Your head
We're not-
sweats. You have
our
hair
he-
there.
that's your head. Your head isn't fur.
But I mean, it pretty much is.
I'm gonna Google it.
What do
Your
you?
hair's
Google
much
it?
thinner and lighter.
It's hair fur.
Hair is like more all-encompassing. It's hard to get the sweat out of the fur, I would imagine. You'd be stinky, but you know you can live with that.
Just a lot of deodorant.
Yeah, all of it, all over your body.
Does
Alright.
anyone vote for feathers?
I mean, personally, I like the idea of feathers, but I feel like I'm overruled here.
Would the bottom of my
50-50
feet be hairy
guys.
and my palms?
Yes.
Would it?
Yeah,
Because
Oh, hold on, wait.
animals don't have hairy
Yeah,
like
no, you're
on their
right,
feet
you're
and
right.
palms.
yeah, your
Yeah.
hands and your feet would be fine, I guess. The
So
back of your
picture
hands
yourself as a
covered.
as a like a
Gorilla.
bear. Their palms aren't hairy. Oh fuck! I'm guys. I don't know on this one.
Harry, Google do gorillas sweat through their tongue? Because I'm
Not-
I'm
do
like
they sweat?
99% sure that gorillas just sweat through their like armpits like normal people.
You're an armpit.
Like
I don't
normal
think they have
people.
hairy- I
Gorillas
don't think
aren't
they-
people.
Gorillas don't have fur.
I mean, that's what I'm imagining.
What gorillas have fur?
Yeah.
No.
Is fur and hair the same thing?
Didn't you Google that like 5 minutes ago?
No, I googled. Do dogs have? I googled. Can you have sweat
No.
glands and fur?
Gorillas do sweat like us,
Yeah.
but I don't really get the point you're making with that, Nath.
Well, no, the point I was making is Harry said if we choose fur, you'd have to sweat through your tongue. And I'm
Well-
saying no, you wouldn't.
I think what he's saying is it would be difficult for us to sweat through the fur, and like that's why dogs sweat through the tongue because they've
We're just gonna make the
evolutionized-
rule that you'll sweat normally, but it's gonna get caught up in the fur. You're gonna be scrubbing that. You know, it's gonna stink.
Oh god, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It
Like
is
a little
everywhere.
gorilla, little gorilla just grilling around.
Do I have to use deodorant on my tongue?
You don't have to, but if
Why
you
the
choose
tongue?
to,
my tongue. My hair teeth.
Oh,
Oh god,
Didn't
I
mean
forgot about
tongue.
those.
at least
You-
it'll
guys,
be more
what-
fitting.
we're definitely ending up in some sort of like testing facility.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a hairy mouth and a furry body.
We should have
So,
taken the 10,000. We're going to need to run from the country at this rate.
dude,
I already
I
have.
just want the cartel to take me out right about now.
I think we're just bouncing from the country, really,
If it was up to Harry, he'd have no hands.
with this fat man following us.
Yeah,
you just,
I
you
don't
could lie
want a
there and
fat
play
man
dead, and they'd be
following me.
like, "Oh, look what they've done to him. They've cut his hair and put it in his mouth. Wow, they've left a message. He's definitely dead. Let's not even check."
All right. So
I'm
let's
going fur.
final vote. Are we going
Fur.
Harry?
Fur.
All right. My feathers is overruled. Bobby, what would you say?
Fur.
Fur. Okay. Well, we're now
Yeah.
very furry. All right. The next question, getting to the end of it, right? Would you rather have chopsticks for hands or office chair wheels for feet? Now, I'm not 100% sure how the office chair wheels are going to work now that we've got pogo shoes on.
Oh shit!
We're gonna have to learn how to balance
Wait, what
really
was the
well
other one?
pogoing on wheels.
Chopsticks for
Office-
hands.
Chopsticks for hands or office for
Why would you ever want to get rid of your hands? They're so much more useful than feet. Harry's like, get rid of them. Get rid of my hands now.
Dude,
Dude.
I'll grow my hands back.
I think the wheels for feet.
Wheels for
But then we
feet.
can't pogo around and we'll die because
We'd
No, if the
still-
pogo on
the
wheels.
would you rather is broken.
We'd have to pogo on wheels. We'd have to pogo on wheels, which is difficult. It'd be bouncy wheels. Oh fuck! But then chopsticks. I'm assuming we get 5 chopsticks, 5 fingers, right?
No, one
No, it's
chopstick, one
it's
arm.
Yeah, chopsticks for hands, not for
Oh,
fingers.
for hands.
So I'm guessing like your hand just like your wrist just turns into a chopstick. Like
Y-
from the wrist
okay.
onwards, it's just chopstick.
Yep,
could
that's
sharp-
how
you
I'm
could sharpen it. You could sharpen it.
You
have a
could
little-
sharpen it. Yeah.
What? Why would
If
you
you
get
so
off?
if
Every
you're so
time you eat
pleased.
Every time you
Yeah,
have an
sure.
itch, you just slice your face off.
What?
Oh. Now think how amazing those chopsticks would have been if you had teeth on your body. You could have perfectly. Oh, that would have been great. Just really getting into those little
In
There's
yeah,
little
little nooks, little crannies.
nooks. You fool. Wait. So what was the second option?
Wheels for feet.
Office chair wheels, not just a normal wheel, not like a unicycle wheel, but those
I'm in a car
annoying
now.
sort of half lopsided office chair wheels.
That also bounce.
They do with their bouncing wheels now.
Is it like supermarket trolleys where 3 of them work and one of them's really in there?
Yes.
How many feet do you have, Harry, to get 4 wheels?
Yeah, my fourth foot doesn't work.
And so my third leg
Uh,
has a wheel on the end of it.
We have to. Having chopsticks for hands would just interfere too much with my life.
I mean, you could still not
Oh.
really do much actually.
Hold on. What if I could stick something over the chopstick?
You could stick your chopsticks into a fake hand.
Oh,
And then what happens with that fake hand?
I don't
It
know,
just
it'll
sits
just
there.
look normal.
You go back to Jamie Lannister.
it would look normal though, Nath.
I mean,
But imagine you kind of bounce on wheels that also spin.
So are you more worried about how it looks rather than the functionality?
Are
the
you telling
fashion
me
of
that
it.
wheels
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bounce
yeah,
are
but-
functional?
At least it will look pretty good. I'm sitting there like,
Are you telling me that wheels that bounce are functional?
I'm saying, with no hands or with chopsticks for hands, you couldn't do anything that you could previously do with hands. But with office chair wheels
Actually-
for feet,
Yeah, we
chair
have-
wheels for feet, you could still probably get around a bit.
Yeah, I've got to
Yeah.
go with Nathan to be honest.
I gotta go. Honestly, the thing that just changed it for me is I was gonna be like, "All right, Nath, go grab me some water from your bathroom or something," and then I realized wiping my ass with chopstick.
Oh,
How
can
many
you imagine
times
if you did?
that would
Can you
break
imagine if you
break
pierced the
through the
toilet paper?
toilet
Oh
paper, yeah.
my lord.
Oh, and you couldn't even use the chopsticks for like food because you'd be like, "I know where these hands have been."
I love how you're referring to your chopsticks as hands.
They would
You
be my
hold them up
hands,
in
they
front
wouldn't-
of
I know,
you, and you just
like-
be, I know where these hands have been. There's little tiny little sticks there.
Yeah.
Just one of them's just covered in brown stuff.
Oh, I mean, you
Oh,
could
God.
wash them. I mean,
Your
it would be
previous job.
difficult to wash them. That's
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
you can't. Someone else has to wash them for you. Mum, could you? Yeah, I've done it again. Could you have?
So, if they're wood, like eventually you'll end up snapping one off,
You can replace them. They grow back. It's like a long fingernail.
like a
Ooh.
Wolverine.
Oh, so
claw.
it's just made out of fingernail now as well.
Yes. Makes
Oh.
it okay. So I think I would
Er-
definitely go for the office chair wheel feet.
Yeah, agreed.
Can I ask?
Mm.
Are the office chair wheel feet flesh?
No, I in my head I was imagining them being fully plastic.
Yeah, me too.
It's like
So
you lost your
basically-
feet and this is all
Yeah,
you had
you've
on
gone.
hand.
You've gone to stumps. They've replaced it with plastic bouncy
Yeah.
office chair wheels. Guys, we are slipping all over the place. We
We
are
are.
making it around about 3
Yeah.
bounces.
We're a monster. We are a monster.
That's why
at this
Naked Fat
point.
Man is stalking us. He's writing it all down in his journal. He's studying.
He's actually a
us.
scientist. He's just got like a skin condition, can't wear
We're
clothes.
we're in our own make believe world where we're being stalked. Actually, it's the police hunting us down.
He's got a skin condition where he can't wear
Oh.
clothes.
Okay. Okay. So have we all agreed wheels? Anybody disagree with wheels?
Yeah,
Harry,
wheels are good.
I know you don't want hands, but
Any chance, Harry? Would you rather lose £1 out your bank account?
the
or get rid
hands.
of
Take
your
the hands.
Get rid of the hands. Get rid of the fucking hands. Harry, would you rather? Would you rather fall out of bed or lose your hands? Get rid of the fucking hands. No way.
I mean, falling out of bed is a pretty awful thing.
You could be like, Harry, would you rather keep your hands or lose your hands?
Lose your hand. Get rid of him. Who do you think I am keeping my hands?
Left or right hand?
Both. Just
Both.
take both of them.
No,
Alright,
I'm a fourth
As
one.
many as
I
they
think-
can.
I think we unanimously agreed on the wheels.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right.
Hit us with the next.
The next one isn't hand related. It's just something that I was curious about. Like, I didn't even have it on my list, but I remembered it, so I thought I'd ask it anyway. Would you rather only be allowed to sleep for 3 hours every day, or have to sleep for 18 hours every day?
Oh shit. No, actually, add that. That adds on to the factors. 3 hours, I think.
3 hours, that's it. Or,
Yeah.
3 hours with pogoing everywhere.
yeah, you'll be exhausted. You'll be knackered. Or 18 hours. You have 6 hours, quick maths, every day to do everything that you need to do before you have
Guys,
to hit
I'm
the
gonna
bed.
be honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna be doing much moving in this scenario. I think I'm staying at home with these little feet of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 hours a day
These
is
little
nothing.
feet of mine.
Also, if you're sleeping for 18 hours a day, like you're effectively losing like 3/4 of your life.
Yeah.
Like,
I find it crazy that you already lose a third of your life to sleep.
But what if you're losing that much of your life to sleep? Oh, okay, no, the other way around. You're living, or you're awake for way more, but the entire time you're just fucking exhausted the entire time.
Here's the thing: I'm not doing anything strenuous, right? I'm kicking back. I got my fur.
You've got healthcare money coming in. Like, they pitied you with
You got the
whatever
Can I-
accommodation you
earlier.
are.
Can I have one day in the year where I just get to sleep 8 hours? Just one day.
That one refreshing day, and it's at random. You don't get to pick. It just happens.
I just wake up and it's happened, and I just
Yeah.
cry.
Because you know for the next year.
What hours would you pick out of interest? If you were sleeping for 3, what hours would you pick? I'd
Probably
probably pick
3 to
Go on.
6.
3 to 6.
Yeah.
I was
Nah,
thinking
just
like,
fuck it up. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Harry just
Man's
takes a
already
power nap in
tired.
the middle of the day.
Doesn't make a
Two-
fucking difference. I'm wasting 3 hours of my day.
I was like,
It
what's the
doesn't
point
even
of me
close
being
the
awake? I've cut
curtains.
my own hands off anyway.
No, I've got.
It's not
Listen
even-
here.
it's not even
I've
a
got
question
office wheelchairs for feet. I've got a fucking fat man following me.
You're hairy.
have-
It's so uncomfortable. That's why you can't sleep.
I might have the cartel coming after me. I don't know. There you go. I might as well just sleep whenever I want. Does it have to be
I
fixed?
think
Like,
No, every day you have to sleep for 18 hours.
But what if you
for
can't?
18 hours, or
Yeah.
I can't.
I'd say it's going to be fixed in one 18-hour cycle.
Okay.
I would, lad, 6 hours is not enough.
It's
You'd
not.
wake up, and like an hour would pass just by making some breakfast, getting a shower. Like, you're already counting down the minutes till you know that you just knock out. Like,
I mean, but with working, I mean, you kind of only get really 6 hours of free time anyway.
Yeah, but we're not. You don't have to work in this situation because you get the healthcare money. You get benefits.
yeah, but at this point we're on disability. Like,
Yeah.
there's no question about it.
Just
Yeah,
think,
I'm not.
you
I'm
won't be
saying
able
at the
to do-
moment we still work. So really, it would just be like we're just at work and sleeping at the
Yeah,
same time,
true.
but without the working.
You can't do
Okay.
your 24-hour.
Like 9 till
Between-
5. That's 8 hours. Sleep. I mean, you're meant to sleep for like 7 or 8, but realistically, I don't think many people do. But if you got that 8 hours, that's 16 done. This is only 2 more than that.
Oh,
Rude.
It's a good point.
No.
But
hold
I-
on a minute. So, go on, Nath. Well, I'm thinking about.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure I read, like, when Barack Obama was the president, he only slept for like 4 hours a night.
Yeah, I think Boris
So-
Johnson sleeps for 4 hours a night.
Yeah, like a lot of people that have like very stressful jobs still manage to function on 4 hours sleep a night.
Can I
So-
just
This
say,
is one
isn't
less.
that crazy?
That is
That they
mental.
have arguably one of the most stressful jobs in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're functioning on 3 hours sleep, probably some little pills to help you go, but still impressive.
A lot of coffee.
I just think, I don't know. Bobby's point about work has swayed me.
I don't know. I don't
A
think you'd
little
be able to have a
bit.
relationship.
I would only sleep 3 hours a day. That like
Yeah.
I'd just do that, and there'd be so much more I could get done in a day.
Yeah, true. I think we just have to.
Because we could effectively just do anything on a computer we wanted to.
I think
Yeah.
we just have to fuck up our bodies and get a dependency on coffee.
Yeah,
and then-
eventually you'd get used to sleeping 3 hours a night, and
I
your
don't
body would
think
like
so.
adjust.
I think you'd always just be extraordinary.
You'd have to do it properly. Like you'd have to stick to a routine though. Like you'd
Yeah.
need to choose like 3
Getting
hours a
enough
night.
sleep kills you though.
I think if you slept for 18 hours a day, you wouldn't be able to have a proper relationship.
Yeah,
Or,
true.
I don't
Well,
think
actually,
you'd be
maybe
able
that's
to
the
have a
perfect relationship because they only have to deal with you for 6 hours a day.
My 3 hours of sleep, does it have to be in one block? Or
Yeah.
can I like
No.
Oh
split it?
yeah, Bob, you're gonna need it.
You don't want
Yeah.
3 1-hour naps. I feel like that's even worse.
Well, you just take it like a bunch of
You'd
like
be so tired.
9 20-minute power naps throughout the day.
I mean, there are some militaries that will literally just go on like 20-minute power naps, and they'll do like 10 of them a day, and that is their sleep.
I just had a really sad thought of just lying down at midnight, just being exhausted and just like lying there knowing that
You
like,
have to get up in 3 hours.
you are waking up in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like that thought just hit me.
But I mean, isn't this
Yeah.
just insomnia?
Think about but, you know, screw them. This is my struggle.
Whoa.
Just think about. Do you remember, like, or work or with school where like you stayed up way too late, you're already exhausted, and you lie down in bed at 6, knowing you have to, or like 5, knowing you have to be up at like
Yeah.
7:30.
And then
But-
you wake up 7:30 and you're just like, I'm just skipping whatever I need to do.
I'm
today,
calling in
sleeping
sick.
again.
Yeah, it's just that dread where you're like, I've only got 3 hours sleep.
The thing is, I was gonna say the dread mainly comes from knowing you have to go to work in 3 hours, not that you have to wake up in 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like for me,
No,
I've
mine was
had that
waking
exact
up.
scenario. Like,
Like-
my main problem is
I didn't mind
like,
going to school. Was the fact that I had to wake up in 3 hours.
Yeah,
That's what-
mine's with
wake up in
Joey.
3 hours and then just lay in bed on my phone for like a couple hours, get a coffee, like relax, not have to do anything. You just, you can still, as long as you're not
Got-
sleeping, you can still lay in bed.
you got a lid on that coffee, Nath.
But
Don't
like,
need it with your hopping
For
feet.
me, when I was working like really early morning shifts, I was always like looking at the time. It's like, well, if I slept right now, I'd have 4 hours. If I slept right now, I'd have 3.5 hours. I feel like every time I went to bed, I was like, if I slept right now, I would get 3 hours. That's it. That's
Can
maximum. I would just
Can I
like, hate it.
ask with this? Is it something where you're like, once you fall asleep, you're going for sleep for 3 hours, or is it like, can you have a bad night's sleep? Like, could it maybe be that I'm unwell
No, I'd
and
say
I only
you'd
get like an hour's
solidly,
sleep?
you'd
that
solidly
night?
get that 3 hours.
Hey, but if you time your sleep cycles, lads, we could be doing well.
I don't think you'd ever be doing well. But all right. So
But
I
then
think
18 hours. 18 hours.
you'd be rested. I'd say you're not going to get back pain. I feel like that's the least we can say about this question. Nah, fuck
so wait,
it.
Imagine.
Office chair
So do we
Joe
have
is
to
getting
be
all the
in?
back
Do
pain.
we have to be in bed to sleep, or can we just sleep wherever?
Where do you
Why
think
would
you
you
are
wanna
sleeping?
be anywhere You're back, Bobby.
Because if you it's laying in a bed for 18 hours sleeping, you're gonna get fucked.
What do you want? A hammock? Like,
True.
where do you think it's gonna be better than a bed?
I mean,
No,
I just
he's
want to
right,
split it up.
bro.
I'll like sleep 10 hours in my bed and then get up and sleep for 10 hours in my chair.
Yeah, memory foam mattress.
sleep in a chair.
Yeah, I sleep in my chair all the time.
Actually, we have
What?
seen
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Bobby.
whoa, whoa.
Where you sleep in your
Let's
chair.
hone in on let's hone in on that for a bit. Go on, continue.
Oh, when I'm on my early shift at work and I've not slept, not had a good night's sleep, I'll get home from work and just go on my computer for a bit and just have a nap. Have a nap
In
for a
your
few
chair?
hours. Yeah.
And then you wake up and your neck is ruined.
We have
No,
seen
No,
Bobby.
it feels great.
Like, Harry, New Year's at your house a couple of years ago, we fell asleep like on the sofa on the floor. Bobby fell asleep upright in an armchair, and his neck just at a 90-degree angle. That's how he slept. So it makes sense.
It does make sense. I was also going to say, I swear
I
I've
can just
fallen
I can
asleep
just
on,
sort of
like-
sleep wherever in whatever position. So
I
From
swear
pretzel.
I swear I've fallen asleep in a call with you guys before, and then you had to kick me out because I was snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
But that's when you were drunk.
That's
I'm
when you were
pretty
drunk, right?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
That's different. But like, Bobby, when you're getting tired and you're on your computer in your chair, do you not just think like, man, I'm tired, my eyes are going, like my head's like droopy and drowsy, like I'm just gonna slump into bed.
Good thing I've got this comfy chair.
no,
You just like, this is okay, I'm getting tired, let me just lean back in my chair.
yes, I do because usually it's like 4 p.m. I've been home for like an hour or two, and so I don't want to go to bed and just like because if I go in bed and go to sleep, I'll just be out and I'll sleep for like 6 hours in my chair, I know I'll sleep for like a couple hours, and I'll be good.
He knows he'll wake up because his body is hurting.
Yeah, he's got broken back.
I usually wake up because like my music just gets really loud all of a sudden, or the
You've
Twitch
got
stream I'm
music
watching
on
suddenly
while you're falling
screams.
asleep.
Yes,
So you've got your headphones on,
yes,
lying back.
So uncomfortable.
it's
Bobby.
so great.
I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree.
This is gonna be a
I have a-
whole.
I have
This
a-
should have been its own podcast. Bobby and his sleeping habits.
Yeah.
I have a proper big like comfy leather office chair.
Okay,
I don't know if
Really?
that makes any difference if you're thinking I sleep on like a dining room table.
One of
with
those
a no
wooden
cushion.
chairs.
so
I'm just
wait, hold on.
imagining what it would look like walking into Bobby's room to be like, "Hey, Bob," and then he just asleep with his headphones on, blaring music through his like heavy metal, and you just like, "Bob," you like tap on the shoulder, nothing happened. You look round, he's just like fully asleep. Like,
My mom's done that quite a few times. But from like it looks like I'm sort of just laying there like just watching a YouTube video or something from behind, so just resting back in my chair.
So let me just think about something. Right, let's say it was 18 hours.
We'll
sleep,
say
right?
that you can break it up into 2 9-hour segments.
No, I don't think I want to.
Or you
Let's
don't
say
have
it's
to.
an 18-hour sleep,
Yeah,
right?
just a quick power 18
Nate,
hour
you were
nap.
worried. You were worried about relationships, okay?
yeah.
If you and your partner both went to sleep at 10 p.m., then you could wake up at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So they'd have
No,
gone
wait,
off, gone to work.
36.
Is that right? Am I an idiot?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So you both go to sleep at the same time. You wake up. They've got an hour and a half left of work. You start cooking them up a little dinner. No different.
That's true, actually.
But then they think about
get-
it. 6
you get
hours
good
of
mornings
games.
together.
All that's all you'd have.
Well, no,
Maybe
you have to
have
cook
some
them dinner
mornings.
first. You know, you won't have
What was that,
6
Nathan?
hours of games the entire time.
I'm gone for 3 hours. Even
Oh,
though I said
would
all
3
that,
hours.
I would go 3 hours.
3 hours.
100%.
3 hours.
I mean,
Harry
I quite
just wants a
often
good
live off
night's sleep.
just live off 3 hours sleep, so you know.
I already live off 3 hours.
I'd choose 12 till 3 a.m. I reckon.
I think
I think
3
I'd go
till
like
6
three-
sounds kind of nice.
I'd
I'd
go
have
like
to keep
3 till
active.
6.
I'd have to keep
AM.
active. Like if I went to bed for 3 hours, I'd have to wake up and do some exercises to make sure I'm.
With what energy?
What with your
No,
pogo
but
feet?
You can still do you could still do like yoga and like stretches and like a few push-ups and like sit-ups and like go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's not strenuous on the well.
If I meditate, does that count as sleeping?
No. Yes.
No, because you're still conscious.
Well, are your eyes closed and are you conscious?
Perhaps.
What if
Does, lu- does, does
Then you're
lucid,
just then,
does-
you're just sat
does
there with your eyes
does
closed.
lucid dreaming count as being conscious?
No.
no?
Because I can technically be meditating at that point.
Bobby learns to sleep with his eyes open and he fools the scenario.
I imagine Bobby meditating. He just literally just sits there and falls asleep. And then when Thor wakes up, he's like, "Oh, that was a great little meditating session."
He's asleep.
I feel so calm now.
He's asleep, eyes open, completely upright on his chair. It's terrifying. Furry teeth and furry body.
You just spin the chair around and just see this thing husk of a man just staring at you.
Every day
With his
you're
wheelchair legs or his office chair legs. Just
wheelchair
his
legs.
office chair legs. Well, let's be real. How often do you say office chair office chair wheels compared to like wheelchair?
Fair enough.
Okay, so let's put this to a vote. 3 hours or 18 hours? I think most of us are going
3.
3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Alright, unanimous. Okay,
Is that the first unanimous?
yeah, I think so. So
Wow.
this is the final question. Actually, Joe,
believe
unless you want
we-
to ask the other question.
Can I ask realistically?
Yeah.
How many people chose 3 just because they wanted to play video games for longer than 6 hours?
Oh yeah.
Nathan.
No, it's not a video games thing, like specifically. It's just like I want to be able to do something.
Yeah, I feel like you
more-
just wouldn't have enough time for
I,
anything.
Yeah.
I would love to play video games more than 6 hours.
Jack,
I,
you can ask.
I miss it working.
Well, the last one, Joey, is going to be the final question that you found.
Go for it. You can go. For
I
it.
mean, this was your question, so if you want to...
Are we? Which one are we talking
We're
about?
talking about the shark one.
Okay, lads, hold on. Let me just get this for you.
So basically,
So-
we've been building up a perfect man, and now's the final end to your challenge.
Yeah. And that question is: Oh fuck it, just edit this out because I can't find it.
I'm leaving
can't
all
even
of this
be
in.
Absolutely not. No, that's the diarrhea question we didn't do.
Would you rather fight
Yeah, that one.
No, oh, bang on, Nate. All right.
100 toddler-sized men
He's
or one
close.
man-sized toddler?
He's close. Would you
Wait.
rather fight 200 third graders or a bear with sharks for arms?
Oh my god, third graders.
And I'm actually going to ramp up the third graders to fifth graders. Because
How old is a fifth grader?
10, I think.
Yeah.
We're gonna say 10.
Surely the sharks would just die because they're out of water.
No,
No,
it's
No,
like
come on
It's
now.
a
Come on
waiting
now.
game. He has water tanks at the back of him.
You're bouncing away from him.
How like
So
much
are we
you have to
upset-
beat up a 10-year-old for them to be like dealt with and out, you know?
Well, think, Nate, you've been
one
10
solid
before.
punch on the nose, just like he was a shark on the end
Wait.
of a bear arm.
If you like proper socks a 10-year-old in the face, are they done? Like one punch, they're done.
Well, Nate, when you were 10, if you got punched by a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, would you
Yeah,
be...
I'd be on the floor. I'd be like crying and like
Yeah.
running away.
Yeah, but the
If you
It's
got punched
just-
now by a 23-year-old,
Yeah, I'd be on the floor crying and running away.
they're determined to kill you, and they won't stop until they're dealt with, Nate.
So you have to kill them. Is that what you're telling
No,
me?
you just have to fight. If they're done on the floor, then you're good.
If they're unconscious, they're out.
You have to knock them all out.
But they're
Yeah.
on a rampage. They're not stopping until they're down.
Yeah.
Do I get a weapon?
They've had a full can of coke.
You've
and
got your body for a weapon. If you
feel
had
like
chosen
you'd
those
break
sharp
your-
chopsticks, you would have been set.
Yeah, Harry's thinking chopsticks, you sons of bitches.
Why have we got hands?
You'd break your hand. Like,
Fuck off, hands! Fuck off!
You're pointless.
Now, can I just say, if you had teeth all over your body, you'd be protected right now.
You'd be like an
That's
armored
true.
man.
You do have your fur though.
Yeah, but they can pull on that.
They can.
Yeah, but it's almost like a cushion if they try and whack you.
Realistically,
Wait. What have we
Or-
added to what they have? Wait.
no. So it's 200.
still-
We'll go with 200 fifth graders, which is aged 10 to 11.
Okay.
Or do you think that's too many? I want to make it a fair
I'd say
contest.
100.
That is a lot.
100 then. 100 is still a lot, but it's not a grizzly bear with sharks for hands.
Yeah,
Sharks
you'd
for
die
arms,
against
the
the grizzly
entire-
Sharks
bear.
for arms, yeah.
Can
So
you
just
have
yeah,
any
go on.
kind of preparation for it? Or is it just you get put in a room with with either
Yeah,
of your
you
choices?
just
you're
get put
walking
in a
down.
room.
No, you're hopping down the road and you turn around and there's either a bear with shark arms behind you or 100 fifth graders.
And let's just hold on a minute. But you've got a friend.
You do have a friend.
You've got someone who cares for you deeply.
The naked
Fat
man!
Naked fat man!
Oh my god!
Yes! He'll save us!
You're struggling, and he just runs in,
He'll
bounding
smother them.
towards you.
this naked fat man bounding towards a bunch of children.
It's a win-win! It's a
Oh my
win-win!
god!
Because A, he'll save us from them, and B, he'll get put on a list and he'll go to jail, so then he won't be near us anymore.
No, but we've already said he's getting out of that jail. He's got
And then at
contact.
the end of it, I'll chop off my hands.
Oh.
Now, what about? I think right, grizzly, difficult.
You'd die. You'd die. You can't kill a grizzly bear.
He's not got a huge amount of
You
mobility
have
though.
you have a
with those
friend
sharks
looking
there.
out for you.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
but
seen The
there's an-
Revenant?
Infinite number of fat men.
Yeah, but Nate, come on now. A really cold guy who was like weak and stuff managed to kill a bear. I'm sure we could.
Yeah, with a friend and old
Dude,
wheelchair legs,
I-
office chair
I think-
legs.
If you put any of us in a room with a grizzly bear, would be dead in 10
Yeah, but
seconds.
it's not just a grizzly bear. He's been handicapped.
Okay, is it a handicap? I feel like the shark's arm might be a buff. I think he's been buffed.
A puff.
No, because he can't. Think of the walking capabilities.
Yeah, he's gonna have to lean
seen-
on the faces of the
Oh
sharks.
god, just think how disgusting that would be. Just like sort of like flopping towards you.
Imagine being the sharks.
How would you
Well,
Do
the
kill
the, do the sharks have a consciousness?
No, I suppose
No.
barely. They're snapping their mouths, but that's about it.
He's wearing them like a puppet.
I thought they were
Yeah,
sharks.
like, yeah, like a puppet.
How would you kill a grizzly bear with your bare hands? I don't understand.
Well, no, he has shark hands. So if he has sharks for arms, do we have his arms?
Why would we have the bear's arms?
No,
or do some random sharks have like some bear
there's
arms?
not two bear arms on the floor, like for you to pick up. I mean,
Beat him with his own
really?
arms.
I mean, we do have furry arms. We just don't have the claws to go with it.
Yeah.
Should have gone
I-
for the chopsticks. I think
if-
Harry's.
If you
Yeah, we
choose
should have
to
gone for the
fight-
chopsticks.
If you choose to fight the 10-year-olds, do you get any sort of like gloves, like
No.
boxing gloves or MMA
No,
gloves?
no.
Because
Unless you're just
But you're
returning from a
forgetting,
boxing
we
session.
have wheels for feet, so we can just like ram them down.
We can just
But
skirt
you have to
around.
bounce. You have to bounce because of the pogo shoes.
Yeah, bounce on their heads.
Oh, he's just going from one to another. He's
Yeah.
bouncing over them all.
He's turning it into a Goomba now.
Oh, but hold on, Harry.
Get
Come on.
100 points for jumping on their head.
We're on 3 hours sleep. We're not gonna have the energy for
Yeah, that's
this.
true.
Oh, you're right.
If you picked 18 hours, you'd have had all the energy. This is your 6-hour
Also,
active
You
session.
just would have
Alright,
had
so-
to be careful because during that 18-hour sleep, the bear could or 100 kids could just approach you
At any
and you
point,
would not
yeah.
know.
just start pummeling you. Also, kids are cruel, so they'll probably take the mickey out of you for your hairy teeth and stuff.
And you're
That's your main fear. Your main fear is them just
Bullied.
laughing at you and you get shamed away.
I
Oh
think-
god.
I think the main problem against the kids would be you'd break your hands. The main problem against the bear would be you'd die.
No, I
I mean,
think
the kids can
both
kill you.
scenarios.
They're
Both
aggressive.
scenarios, I think we might die, lads.
No, the kids, okay. You know in Inception, when they go into like the worlds and the people are super aggressive and they hunt them down.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
like that, but for the kids. They're just
I
like
really thought
full out
what
for you.
I was really confused what you were getting from Inception. I was like,
You know?
you know, Inception, the scene where the guy
the
with
bear with the
pogo-
shark arms.
when
It's like-
Leonardo DiCaprio killed the bear in Inception.
But I think either one you're dead, right? Grizzly bear would be quicker.
I
That's
don't know.
true.
Would you die against a bunch of 10-year-olds?
I mean,
They-
Would they be able
doing
to catch you on your roly pogo wheels?
I mean,
Imagine the scene. Your neighbor looks out their window and you're back to back with a fat naked man just like punching
Yeah,
off.
you've got your boy with you.
fur to fur. I mean, because he's sellotape fur to him, obviously.
Does he
Just like
does he
us.
just like pick up our molting fur? So he's also a hairy naked fat man as with us.
Yeah, he's tried his best to replicate us.
He's
Did
brought
he,
all his
did he
stalker
get
friends.
confused and chop his hands off, but still has working feet?
He's it's like the Rohirrim in Lord of the Rings. He just like stands on the horizon with his hundreds of naked stalker.
An army of naked stalkers.
You're like, I
It
knew
has-
there was more than one.
My stalker has answered.
Okay.
The kids is more survivable.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
definitely.
I like me in my current body. I don't think I would have the energy to pulverize 100 10-year-olds. But in this,
Pulverized.
yeah, but in this newfound
Jesus.
heroic form that we've chosen, maybe, just maybe.
Heroic form.
Yeah.
Now hold on a minute. The cartel are walking down the road.
Oh fuck!
Where's my fucking money?
Where's
Where's
my
my
cheddar?
fucking money? They start going for the kids. Because you're just this weird Bigfoot creature with wheels.
You cut your hands off as the distraction and you run away.
Harry just walks to the shark arms and just hands outstretched, just hoping that it takes them.
Chomps them both off, and then you're like, "You're fool! I've reached my final form."
You should never have removed my hands.
Harry's secret technique: no armed flail.
Yeah.
I just remember last week when Nathan said, "You see, I use shadows to my advantage."
That was like 3 weeks ago.
I just picture that like in the day I use shadows to my advantage as you're like swinging around, hitting all the kids, predicting their movement from the shadows.
But it's a bright middle of the day, so it's just like a lightly dim shadow.
And you're also kind of tired and you
Really
can't
tired.
really move.
Definitely
You
not
gotta
sneaky
tell them
with
to
those.
Piss off.
wheels.
The hair
Actu- We've actually
Piss off.
we've Yes.
Look at his hairy teeth.
But according to
Leave me
yours,
alone.
Dave, you've put your dentures in. So
True.
And they're
if
sharp.
only we actually had the pogo stick, because we could have just stood still and swung that at them.
That's true.
Instead, we had to be creative and turn it into fucking shoes.
So wait, is anyone choosing the bear?
I'm just right. How handicapped is it by the shark
I reckon
hands?
bears move not on their hind legs. They walk on all fours. So
You can still walk on all fours.
I
You'd just be
don't
shark
imagine.
Oh
so.
no! Hold on a minute.
it's gonna damage those sharks.
Am I being dumb? When we say sharks for arms, does that mean there's 2 or 4 sharks?
How many arms does he have?
He's got 2
What's
arms.
a
and 2 legs.
bear?
Yeah, 2 arms and 2 legs. You don't say, yeah, this bear has 4 arms. What do you mean?
Oh, I'm going for the
I
kids.
feel like
then.
if this
You
was a
think dogs are...
if this was a popular podcast, this would be the greatest episode for fan art.
I don't think you can draw half
Yeah,
of
I
it.
really
I
wanna
don't think
see
you
what
can
this
draw
looks
half of
like.
it.
The naked, hairy, fat man with your hair glued to you, with his dick, with his schlong.
He's a decoy.
flailing
He's a
about.
Wait, why is he
decoy.
on the schlong? I didn't know about the schlong.
We haven't done that would you rather yet.
He's naked. But hold on, you could use him as a decoy. He looks just like you. He's glued fur all over him.
That is
So,
true.
"Look, kids, it's him. It's him. You leg it. Go back to the field. Take the
Well,
money.
Well, surely you'd pog it.
You'd pog it. Go back to the field. Take the money. Fly to somewhere that doesn't have Bigfoot
Bermuda.
and live happily ever.
And as you land, the naked fat man's waiting for you.
I then embrace it.
And he's befriended the shark bear.
He's bloody and bruised, but
He's there, and you treat him like an old friend.
you agree him.
We're just meant to like knock out the kids, and he's like, "I have brought you their heads." And I'm like, oh God! What have you? Oh God!
All
I
right.
think 100.
I'd say 100. Yeah.
At what age? Like, are you assuming?
I'd go for the shark just for the bands.
I mean, I have no real reason to live at this point. I've got some fat man following me.
I'm tired.
I just go sharks.
Harry's got his hand still.
Yeah, I've still got hands. I can't be bothered.
Like,
I would go in balls deep.
Oh.
No, that's not what I was going for. I'd go in face first into.
Oh, apparently we're now into bestiality.
you're running away. You're pogoing away,
Pogging away. Yeah.
pogging away, and then there's just a moment of like clarity in your mind where you stop and just feel the peace of just death overcoming you. You're free from this fucking catastrophe.
It's like there's happy music in the background. It's slow. It's in slow motion. I'm pogoing towards the fucking bear. I'm like, my life is it's tranquil. I'm absolutely overjoyed. And then it fades into black, and it says the end.
When you get to
And
the
then
bear,
it's
it
just round
embraces
two.
you in a nice big hug. It turns out it was just another bold, hairy, fat man who'd taken your fur.
Holy shit.
It is the fat man. So overall,
The
I'm
kids.
gonna try.
Yeah, the kids.
Gonna try and beat up some kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought honestly, it'd be kind of fun.
Nay, you say that, but after the first, I
Yeah, you know.
think
Bloody hands, broken knuckles. You have 99 more to go. You
How hard are you punching these kids to break your hand?
have to knock them out. Dude, if you punch someone without any hand guards, you'll break your knuckles.
out of interest, would you have changed any of our responses to take on those 100 kids?
Yeah, now that
Like,
you
is
know.
there now that you know,
Maybe the
would you not-
teeth. Maybe the teeth all over my body.
100%. Thank you.
You don't
Because
want
then
feathers?
it's pretty much armor, you know.
Or feathers. You could fly, kind of, not really. Cool. Well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
I've got a couple more like random questions, but Joey, do you want to go for your one?
I mean, yeah. When I told Nathan about this earlier, he informed me that it has been like it is a decently common question. But let's say you get £100,000, but for the rest of your life, you have a snail following you. That if it touches you, you die. Would you do it?
Yeah.
I wanted to choose a lower amount of money because I wanted it to be something that you'd actually have to think about. But
I'd do it.
100,000,
Can you kill the snail?
it'll come back to life. Like
You can't
It's like the
touch
naked
it.
fat man. There's an infinite number of them.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, like there's an infinite number, not at the same time.
So I can't put salt behind me wherever I go.
I mean, you could.
You could try.
You could put
I
salt around
trap
your
him?
bed.
Can I just put him in a box and keep him next to me?
I don't think
How
you
do
want
you
him next to you.
How would you know
Ah.
which is the right snail, though, Harry?
You want to keep your enemies close.
Yeah,
So
how
you
do you
wanna-
know the right stuff?
Yeah, no,
You
you
don't
don't
know
know the
which
snail.
one
It's
it
not
is.
like you meet beforehand.
Well,
and
I'll
shake
just sit in
hands.
a room and I'll wait for the snail to enter the room.
But what if the snail's in
Guys-
like Australia?
Guys, when's the last time you saw a snail?
Ages ago. Like
Yeah, like
weeks
a year
ago.
ago, maybe.
'Cause
So-
it would-
Has
It
anyone
would be
seen-
like
Has anyone seen It Follows?
Yeah.
It's just like that, but less harmful. Like you don't know
Because
where
it's
it
Well,
snail.
no,
is. You
still
don't know who
harmful.
it
Still
could
kills
be.
you.
Yeah,
Wait.
but it's however slow a snail is.
I'm assuming if you fly to like another country, a snail will eventually like crawl onto a plane and go.
Yeah, the assumption is it can make its way to you.
Like
Okay, so
literally.
You can
wait
trap
for
every
it.
snail you see, though, Nath.
Wait, are we
Wait
saying it has to
for
like it can hitchhike there instead of just like slugging or snailing it over?
what do you mean?
Slugging.
How is it going to snail across the ocean?
It's
don't know.
sentient. It's aware of its task.
Okay, okay.
It's
You have to,
smart.
like, Get on a boat or a plane to follow you.
Harry sat in a room for 4 years watching the door. It comes in through the window.
Yeah, as soon
waiting
as-
for the
Oh,
snail.
Literally, you're gonna know which snail it is when you're just sitting waiting for it, because there's not just gonna be a random snail that if you like wait in a room and you like lock the door, how is it gonna get in? It's not.
Oh my god! Could you imagine if you were in jail and like a
And you
snail
see a
comes in,
snail coming towards you.
and for the
Help
rest
me!
of your life you're like,
Pacing around
Itching
this
away from
jail.
You
Like,
see the snail in like where the guards are, and they're like, "Guards, let me out! You're not gonna believe me, but that snail is gonna kill me." And they're just like, "Yeah, right, okay,
yeah, right. You and your money laundering. Where'd you get that 100 grand from, huh?
yeah, exactly."
I feel like if you were in
I
jail and
wouldn't
if you
do
made a big enough fuss, you'd be like, "Get this fucking snail out of here now!" And like the guards would be like, just to calm you down, they'd probably just pick up the snail and chuck it away.
I think they'd
They
move
just
you to
throw
a
it at
mental
you.
ward. Honestly, I think they'd move you to a fucking mental ward.
And then the snail shows up.
Yeah, and then your
mental
arms
ward.
are strapped together, Nathan. You know the snail's coming towards you.
First thing I'd do,
Honestly, I wouldn't do it.
I'd take the 100k and I'll fly to Sweden. That'll buy me some time.
I'd be way too paranoid all the time. I feel like for 100k, I'd have to do it for more. It would have to be more than 100k.
how much more?
It'd have to be in the millions, like over 50 million or something.
What?
'Cause then I could feel comfortable being in the
You
situation.
could hire someone to just stand next to you the entire day.
Exactly.
Two
Oh, but
different
then
people
what's the snail?
rotating
What if the,
shifts.
what if the snail pays them off?
Oh my god.
Also, Jack, you would be an awful boss. You've chosen 12-hour shifts. Fucking hell.
So do we still have our pogo feet wheels at this point with the snail chasing us?
No. This is normal.
I'd live in the sky.
You'd live.
How'd you get up there?
That's like, I'd do a Minecraft. I'd nerd pole up, and then I'd break the blocks underneath me.
And then you'd fall tumbling down.
Nah, that's not how physics works. It's the same as Minecraft. You just float.
I would not do it just because
Yeah.
it would be too. I get stressed about things that like scenarios that aren't even real. I'd be very, very stressed from a scenario that is actually real, and it could just kill me.
What if you didn't know? Like, what if someone said, "Hey, I'll give you £100,000, but a snail's gonna come get you. Don't let it touch you or kill you." You don't actually know for a fact that it's there. The guy's just told you. You said, "Yeah, no, yeah, sure," and you take the money.
Sorry, but if the man is giving me 100,000, I'm listening to every word he's saying. What if all snails went towards you, but you just didn't know which one was?
Oh no.
I'd never take that. Then I would.
That would
never
be
take that.
that would be terrifying. You'd wake up with like 100 around you.
Well, no,
Yeah,
because-
imagine opening your windows and seeing about 400 snails just on your window.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
Beyond your
sucking at
window,
it. Just
on
like-
your lawn, everywhere.
if every snail in like on the world is coming towards you, then your entire like street will be covered in snails.
Yeah,
You won't be able to leave the house. So that's definitely a no-go. But if it's one
100
snail,
million.
no, if it's one snail,
Well, only one of those snails is going to kill you.
do you know where the snail spawns?
No.
Spawns.
Sport.
It could it could be in your country, it could be in Australia, it could be anywhere.
You don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll just
What if it's in Australia and you fly to Australia?
I'd do if I had 100k, like Joey said originally, take the money, deposit on a house in Sweden, and then in about 10 years, the snail should be like,
Bored.
on its way to Sweden.
No, but it's
10.
it's taken a plane, If
Yeah, but just
It's
to get
attached
from, like,
itself to the side of a taxi, gone to the airport, planed in. Attached itself to
Yeah,
the back of a suitcase. It's on the
what
plane.
I'm saying is, like, to get from the airport to like our house, it'll be like 2 hours drive. So that'll be like however many, like a year in snail like walking speed.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I've looked it up. A snail can move 200 meters in a day. That's
Exactly.
not that far.
That's nothing. A kilometer in 5 days, like it'd take forever for a snail to get to you. So if you live somewhere for like 5 years or 10 years, whatever,
What if a bit of luck? What if a bit of luck? What if it spawns? You've got me saying spawns. What if it starts right next to you?
if it starts right next to you, I feel like you'd know because as soon as you take the money and it's like fresh in your mind, you'll be looking out for snails. And then
you see a
then, like-
snail and you're like, fucking loser, see ya.
Like
It's just a decoy snail.
you'd test it, wouldn't you? Like if you see a snail
What?
near you, you see which way it's going, and then you'd walk behind it. And if the snail turns around,
Yeah, but
and then
if-
you'd go the other side, it would turn around again. Then you know that's the one.
What if you're so busy looking at the floor, staring at it, you don't realize it comes from the sky?
What are you talking about?
Just bring a golf club with you.
But
wherever
Joey
you
did
go.
say they're
It's got a
sentient.
pogo wheel on the bottom of it.
You should jump
Yeah,
that.
it's smart.
It's smart. So it's say 200 meters. It could just technically stick itself to a car or something.
It also gets 100 grand. And it maneuvers its way through the world to get to you.
It
No, I
gets
just
100
bring
grand.
a golf club everywhere I go. Oh, here he is. Whoop.
Four.
Bonk.
Bonk.
You're saying it's got to stick itself to a car. How does it even know where the car's going? It could stick itself to a car and then
It's
end up like
sentient.
100 miles further away.
Sentient. It will literally. It can tell where everything's going.
So
It can
you're
read your
telling me
mind, Nathan. It can read
I
your
take
mind.
100 grand.
It
And
Change
looks.
the, change the
will appear
parameters.
in
Change the
Mind-reading
parameters.
snail.
It has a
look-
gun.
It
And
looks
it's
at the
fast.
It can put someone hostage in their car.
The snail has a note. It's like, bring me Nathan Francis.
Drops this soggy wet note out of its mouth.
And they're like, "Who's Nathan? Who's Nathan?" You hear a gunshot.
What if this snail's got arms and legs or something?
The snail's got. It's a human.
It's a
It's
man-sized
a-
snail
Jade
with
for a
arms and
snail.
legs sprinting at you like doof 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 doof.
It's now.
Oh my god!
It's now just. It's a man called Snail. That's it.
I can picture that in a horror movie. You're walking down a dark alley, and you turn back, you hear a noise, and you just see the snail trail thing on the floor, and you see it, and you're like, he's here.
So you know Gary the snail in SpongeBob, where he
No, you've heard
becomes
of them.
I'm aware of him.
really wisdom, and he's just in this robe with the snail. On the
Oh
top.
yeah.
So would you take it?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
No, I wouldn't.
seems
Harry?
funny.
I wouldn't take it now.
There you go.
Now that we've gone through all of it, I wouldn't.
3-2.
Why?
Go eat your eggs.
Oh, you'll maybe lose out on 100k, guys. Are you happy?
All right. Well, there we go. That's everything we
Hardly
got.
logical podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that we've prepared.
That was
instead of,
very
like, just-
hardly logical.
Yeah. No. That honestly, some of our choices were so dumb. I can't believe we didn't want teeth for hair. Right. Bye.